it's Friday, February 2nd, 2024. Peace is a path to the prosperity of a nation. Let peace reign. On the news this afternoon, court strikes out plea to stop criminal charges against River State Government House Chief of Staff. Others. Judge stands down hearing of bail application of those accused of burning down Rivers Assembly Complex. River State University student appeal for reduction in tuition. On the foreign scene, Malaysia reduces jail sentence of former Prime Minister Najib. I am Ifechukwumoyle with the news. A federal high court in Abuja has struck out an application filed by the River State Government House Chief of Staff, Edison Ehie, seeking an order to strike out the charge against him and others for want of jurisdiction. Recall that 5 suspected arsonists of the Rivers House of Assembly were arraigned before Justice Bolaji Olajuwon on 7-count charge bordering on alleged terrorism, among others. Mr. Ehie, whose name was mentioned, was alleged to be at large with other suspects. Today in court, Mr. Ehie's lawyer, Oluwole Aladedoyin, argued that it was incorrect that the Government House Chief of Staff, whose name featured in the count preferred by the Inspector General of Police, had no right to make the application. He also argued that in the affidavit it was clearly stated that at no time was Mr. Ehie ever invited by the police. But the police counsel disagreed with him, saying Mr. Ehie's name is not in the charge and he has not applied to be joined, which makes his application incompetent. Justice Bolaji Olajuwon agreed with the police lawyer, saying Mr. Ehie's name was only mentioned as a person who is at large and not as a defendant in the charge. The judge urged Mr. Ehie to make himself available to the police. In the meantime, Justice Bolaji Olajuwon stood down the matter to hear the bail applications of the 5 defendants accused of burning down the River State House of Assembly complex in October last year. The 5 defendants arraigned are Chime Egume, Ezebalike, Prince Lukman Oladile, Kenneth Glock Massa, Osiga Donald, and Ochweja. Thank God. They were arraigned on the 25th of January on 7-count charge bordering on alleged terrorism, among others. They, however, pleaded not guilty to the 7-count charge and were ordered to remain in Kuje Correctional Center until today, when their bail application was stood down by the judge. Meanwhile, the third case instituted to stop Governor Siminalayi Fubara from representing the 2024 appropriation bill will be heard on Monday at the State High Court, Port Harcourt. In another development, some groups that are against the implementation of the presidential 8-point resolutions by River State Governor Siminalayi Fubara say they will continue their legal actions. This is despite court rulings dismissing similar cases. As you may know, 2 Abuja High Courts dismissed cases involving the defection of some River State lawmakers and the implementation of the 8-point resolution. Speaking on this, lawyer and convener of the People's Advocate Courage in Sirimovu told correspondent Yobiorware that the cases handled by the Abuja High Court are different from those in Port Harcourt High Court.
The point I'm making is that the claims of the elders in Rivers State, I am not fully abreast of their claims. However, if the matter was dismissed on grounds of technicality or struck out on grounds of technicalities, we will continue with our own matter and let the court decide one way or another. We have not pulled out, and whatever arises, we will let the public know.
On the spot, the lawyer for another group, Achinike Williams Wobodo, said the suit dismissed in Abuja cannot stop the one already pending in Port Harcourt.
The issues in the case we filed for our client are not the same as the issues in the case decided by Justice Omotosho. And in any case, the parties are also not the same. Not same the judgment, so I don't know the basis for that issue. But it would be wrong for a court to decide the issues in one case because a coordinate court decided the issue, which are not material and the same as the one we have filed. So I don't think that it affects our case. It does not affect our case.
Meanwhile, the third case instituted to stop Governor Fubara from representing the 2024 appropriation bill will be heard on Monday at the State High Court, Port Harcourt. In other news, the National Industrial Court in Port Harcourt has struck out a case by some aggrieved local government staff against the Emoha Council. The council chairman, Chidi Lloyd, and the local government civil service Commission. Justice Polycarp Hammond delivered the judgment on Thursday. Recall that Solomon Erim and 18 other staff members of the council filed the suit over their alleged demotion, deduction of their monthly salaries, and unlawful sack in 2021. The lawyer for the aggrieved staff members, Kingdom Chukwiwe, spoke to correspondent Mekotoka.
The judge said that the address supporting the evidence was just 2-page and is not sufficient enough to establish the several grounds to ask him to make declaration about. When I meet my clients, we'll sit down, look at it, and then they decide the next line of action.
One of the lawyers for the Emoha Local Government Council, Churchill Madume, also spoke.
So this court, in his judgment, in his wisdom, stated that they were not able to substantiate this case, that all they did in court was that they dumped documents before the court. Those documents were not actually relied on, like the Rivers State Local Government Law, which they cited, which they are relying on, that the court was of opinion that they were not able to actually substantiate in this law how the first and second defendant usurped the powers of the third defendant. So the court was of opinion that their suit lacked a merit. So it was actually struck out.
Also, the chairman of Emoha Local Government Area, Chida Lloyd, says the council will now institute a legal action against the aggrieved staff to retrieve all the money that was illegally paid to them. Still to come, Super Eagles eye first AFCON semis in 5 years. Stay with us.
Congratulations, you're in the glory of God.
The Rivers State Police Command has emphasized that the digitalized Central Motor Registry (CMR) ensures a centralized record of vehicles. The Public Relations Officer of the Command, Grace Iringakoko, said the initiative was introduced by the Inspector General of Police aimed to facilitate the swift recovery of stolen vehicles.
I'm here to inform the citizen, especially in Rivers State, about the digitalized Central Motor Registry (CMR) that was introduced by the Inspector General of Police. This registration will assist you to guarantee quick recovery of your stolen vehicle. And I can tell you for free, if you can afford an expensive vehicle, you can also register your vehicle. This system, you can use it to track that vehicle that was stolen for 5 years. If you were kidnapped, for instance, or you parked your vehicle and it was removed, your vehicle can be recovered. You also aid quick investigation.
SP Iringakoko also urged drivers to seize this opportunity and register their vehicles promptly. As you may know, in April 2023, the police established a digitalized Central Motor Registry (CMR) as a repository of information of vehicles operating in Nigerian roads. Every motor vehicle, cars, buses, trucks, motorcycles, etc., owners is required to pay 5,300 naira to register the motor vehicle in the registry and issued a motor vehicle information certificate. Away from that, some students of River State University Mbolu Oroworokwo are appealing for a reduction in tuition and other fees. In an interview with our correspondent, they said the increase in fees has been overwhelming.
My school fees rounds up to the tune of 170,000 naira, and it's an unfair system, it's an unfair practice, because these increments are made regardless of the economic hardship and meltdown.
Most of us here are actually fending for ourselves, and as of last year it wasn't like this, and them increasing school fees without letting us know or giving us notice. With this now, their policy of no school fees, no exam still holds. The government should intervene or discuss with the school management to reduce the school fees.
We had a total of 190 students. Currently now we're having only 120 in our class. We are paying close to 500,000 now.
We're no longer begging and calling for free education, but we are always saying that government should come to our aid, review and reduce the high amount of school fees paid by students in the Rivers State University.
Our correspondent reports that students who are indigenous in the nursing science pay 358,100 naira, while non-indigenous pay 462,500 naira. Indigenous in the faculty of law pay 116,700 naira, while non-indigenous pay 166,700 naira. For the Department of Science Education, indigenous now pay 109,600 naira. The school has yet to speak on this. And now in business, the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited (NPCL) says the mechanical completion of the Warri Refining and Petrochemical Company is scheduled for completion in the first quarter of this year. Chief Corporate Communication Officer of NPCL, Olufemi Shoneye, made this known in a statement. In entertainment, a federal high court in Ikoyi, Lagos State, has convicted and sentenced one Oluwadarasimi Omosheyi, an actress, to 6 months imprisonment for spraying and stepping on the new Naira note at a social event in Lagos. And now in sports, the Super Eagles of Nigeria will go up against Angola in a 2023 Africa Cup of Nations AFCON quarter-final game today, aiming to reach the semis of the competition for the first time in 5 years. Tune in to Nigerian 4FM by 6 p.m. to catch the live commentaries.
And now, we bring you news from around the world.
Malaysia has reduced the jail sentence of former Premier Najib Razak, who was convicted of corruption and money laundering. Mr. Najib, who began serving a 12-year jail term in August 2022, will be released in 2028, and fines imposed on him reduced to 50 million ringgit. That's a wrap on the news this afternoon. Before we go, let's have a look at the major stories. A federal high court has struck out the plea to stop criminal charges against Rivers State Government House Chief of Staff and others. Justice Bolaji Olajuwon stood down the matter to hear the bail application of the 5 defendants accused of burning down the Rivers State House of Assembly complex. Some Rivers State University students are appealing for reduction in tuition. And on the foreign scene, Malaysia has reduced the jail sentence of former Prime Minister Najib. The news was edited by Martha Okerenkem. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808-721-7215. I'm Ifechukwumoyeli. Many thanks for listening.